Hey, everyone. Thanks for the little bit of a wait there.
Yeah.
We're on a whole new system, and we're on a whole new studio system.
Woohoo!
Got a new background, new location. So we had to reconfigure some of our technological advances.
Indeed.
So give us just a second, and then we will be off and running. So did everyone get a chance to read this issue? If you didn't, well, in our group chat regarding the cover art for this issue, someone had posted a link where you can see this issue.
But we are going to show it to you as
We're going
we
to show
go.
it to you, but if you want to open it up on your own right now and flip through it, then it's right there. Just look in the group chat when we're asking people to comment on the cover art.
All right.
So once again, we got a whole new system here.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got a new system and we're getting used to where we're putting things. So let's see. I think I put this over here.
Yeah.
And
I think we'd have done this an hour ago, but no.
Well, yeah, that's okay. All right, here, comic for free. You know what? I will put in our comments here, and we have some comments we need to get through.
Hey, Rex Gordon. Hey, Pierre Jason Kelly, who just had a birthday yesterday.
Hey, how exciting.
Hey, happy birthday, Pierre.
Awesome.
Glad you could be here with us now.
Yeah, and are you plugged in? Because I don't hear you.
I am plugged in. I am plugged in.
Oh, you're just really low. All right, keep talking.
That won't happen for long. Hey, everyone. So I was trying to create our new background, but that didn't happen just yet.
A new background? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, and now, okay, so the logo's right on your head. Should I get rid of the logo, or do you want to scoot over a little bit?
This is fine right here.
That's not fine. It doesn't look good. Come back. Okay. How's that? Is that better?
That looks fine.
I can get rid of the logo.
Looking over here.
What do you think? Should I get rid of it?
No, bring it back.
Okay.
And then let's bring the notes on this page.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Hold on.
So how is everyone doing? Did everyone get a chance to read this issue? Hey, Rex Gordon.
Okay. Here we go. Got our notes. Got this. All right. We are getting there. Perfect. Okay.
All right. Now let's
hi, guys. Rex is here too.
Over here.
Well, we can't bring too many things over here.
Then in the future, we'll need to put this monitor over there.
Well, like I said, I think we should move the monitor a little closer. My monitor is like right behind this guy.
Well, I'll need a bigger desk.
We're getting things situated, and we don't need the sticker anymore because we're here. Thank you guys for coming. There we go. All right. So we are getting this studio to make sense. See, that's why I always put the notes not over there, so we're not looking at ourselves. But you do have a bigger...
All right, now I'm confused.
I know, so I'm trying to help you.
All right, so then just squish that over.
Okay, because we don't necessarily need to see us.
There we go.
All right, but now that thing is still over your head. I'm going to move this because this is just...
Put it down below.
I can't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, everyone here knows that we're skywalking through Neverland, right, everybody? Right.
And you know what? It's got on your shirt.
There you go. All right, we're good. We're good to go.
All right.
Woo!
How is that?
Hey, Skywalkers. Chris Alexander's here.
Oh, you know, I do need this bigger, though, so I have these controls.
All right.
All right.
Then squish this down.
You know, next time maybe we need to switch places again. This is weird being on this side of you.
You want to sit over here?
No, not right now because we have our mics all set. But maybe next time.
Okay.
All right. How about this?
That is perfect.
See, now you've got a bigger screen.
Sorry, everyone, for the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So my question is, why aren't we using this camera, this monitor over there?
This is not a monitor. This is a camera.
No, this is a monitor.
Right.
So why are we not using that?
Okay. Well, one thing we could do is mirror the monitors for recording. But then you'd have to put it like right. I don't know. That would be weird.
All right. You know what? We will figure that out for next time.
Because then we're looking away.
No. No. We'll figure that out for next time. People are waiting to get things to do. It's Tuesday or Thursday or Sunday. It's a day that people have got to be on the move.
Rex says yes, mirror. Yes, all right. On the wall. Aw, very cute.
So do we need this
No, we
anymore?
don't. Get rid of that. Do you like your new trackpad?
I love it because it
Isn't that
works.
exciting? Chris.
Yeah. See, now you're upsetting Chris.
Yeah.
You know what it takes to upset Chris Alexander?
We may switch it back by next week because I don't know if this is working for us, but we'll figure it out. I don't know. So I already stole Richard's mic stand.
We thought we would just come in here and go, oh yeah, it's same as usual, just different room. How much more could there be?
Yeah.
But
I do like this. Seems to be a little higher, this camera, which I like because you can see more of what I'm wearing.
Yeah,
which is unusual.
Mm-hmm. Eric Unkenhout is here.
Yay!
Hey, Eric. Eric just wrote a
Bizarro World.
Eric just wrote a very nice article in the Green Cross Code Man.
Yes.
And it's up on skywalkingtoneverland.com. When we were doing research for our Dave Prowse episode, there wasn't one place to find the whole rundown of the Green Cross Code Man.
So he put that together. It's really cool. It's on our site.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is all set.
And then Chris Alexander has got numerous Star Wars origami videos. One we just put up on our Facebook group. That's how to make the dark saber.
Whoa.
So thank you everyone for your contributions.
All right. So we're going to start out this bizarro world by getting into a classic Marvel Star Wars comics. How does that sound?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, look.
Hold on.
What's that?
Hold on. This is the issue right over here.
Can I have it?
No, get your hands away. No, you know what? Go in the other room for a second. This.
I want
it. See, you're already touching it and damaging it. Okay. There you go. Put your hands behind your back. This is what I read in 1979, the actual comic edition.
Do you know what I read in 1979?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And there, it's hermetically sealed.
Can I have it?
Get your hands away. Oh, you know what? I don't think we took a picture. Oh, okay.
Of what?
Of the.
You have to open this then.
Okay, I'm going to have to open this.
Well, don't do it yet, right?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? We'll do a quick unboxing.
Oh, what? Look, Eric took it out of the bag too.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna take it out of the bag.
Okay.
Hermetically sealed.
I'll take it out for you.
Get your hand away. Easy, easy, easy.
So were these the original ones you bought as a kid?
None of these were bought at conventions in the last 20 years or at comic book shops.
Yeah.
After the fact, I bought these the day they came out.
Whoa.
The day these issues all came out, I was at John's store getting these.
And you kept them? That nice.
Look at that. Look how mint and pristine that is.
You know all the old books that I read that I was when I was a kid? They're all dog-eared.
Oh.
They're very well loved.
This is very well loved too. Look at that.
In a different way.
But it's in pristine condition. I can't get over how pristine this is.
Oh, yes, Dan.
All right. Need a bookmark.
Uh-oh.
Get my AARP card.
All right. I have an AARP card now too. I'm very excited because the wives the significant other of an AARP member gets one too.
Don't knock the AARP card.
No, it's good discounts.
Yeah. All right. So
I don't care that people look at me funny when I take it out.
I care less.
Okay, not too small.
All right, well, we need to see the notes.
Okay, that's good. All right. Okay, that works.
Right. So if you want to stretch it out, hey, Dan Barris is with us.
Oh yeah, so I should get this ready though. I should get this
please.
ready. Okay.
Yes, this comic was released in 1979.
Oh. All right, hold on. This is a new computer, so we have to figure this out.
So,
allow the apps. Yes.
So since we're changing...
Oh, no! Oh, crap. We have to quit and then restart.
What?
All right. Yeah.
Why?
Because otherwise I can't share the screen.
So does everyone need to relog back on?
No, I don't know. We might be able to do it like a refresh.
Okay.
However, let's see if I can just share this without doing that. I don't want the screen. I want a window. Let's try this. Let's see if we can do it.
Oh.
All right. Well, that worked, right?
That works.
All right. Let's do that later then. So can you guys see? I know, right?
No.
Let's see. Oh, see, Jim? I'm with you. All of my... Well, I didn't have comics, but my books and stuff, yeah, they disintegrated.
well, see, another thing is that we got so little in the way of merchandising,
right?
That I wanted to make sure that everything was kept in pristine condition, so I would have it for the long haul.
Okay, I get it.
And you smell that?
I'm allowed to smell it.
You can smell it. You can't get your... See, although, for those of you who already have your comics, what do you? I smell like very old, musty newsprint.
Yeah, that's what I smell.
Okay,
it's musty.
All right. So,
what was that?
Did
you just wash off your hands on your?
Because I might need to touch it again. So, all right, here we go. Are you? What?
Do you want to press record now? In this bizarro world?
Chris is saying, are you saying I should get one now? Get one what? Smells like a basement. It does smell like a basement.
That's a good one.
Even though mine were never kept in a basement or an attic.
Okay. I don't know. Get one what? Smells like a basement. All right. So should we try this?
Yeah.
Yes, you should.
Yes. Yeah, when they first said it to me, it's like, I don't AARP, what do I need? And I turned it around and saw every place you can get a discount. It's like, okay, yes, I need an AARP card.
Yeah.
Better than a Blockbuster card. Better than AAA.
All right. Let's see. We're going to start now. And let's see how this goes. 20 minutes in. That's okay. This is going to be a fun episode.
We're 13 minutes in.
Oh, no, I mean like it's 3:20.
Oh.
It's fine.
I hope no one had plans.
All right. It's your turn.
All right, here we go. Long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there exists a state of cosmic civil war. A brave alliance of underground freedom fighters has challenged the tyranny and oppression of the awesome galactic empire. This is their story. And that is how Marvel Comics began every 107 issues of their original Star Wars comic series. Hey, everyone. I am Richard Woloski, and I want to welcome you back to Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics. I'm here to take you through all these classic stories, share memories of reading these comics as a kid, and to get you all caught up with these characters and situations that every Star Wars fan must know. And because as we noted, there are several connections and parallels to the current Star Wars films, like Rogue One, which we'll see coming up. There's connections to comics and novels, and we'll make note of them. We'll make note of these connections in our Fatum Fast Facts, so you won't miss them. And now, here with me is my sweetie wife, Sarah, who was 21 issues away from being born when this issue was released in 1979.
Wow. Wow. My goodness. Well, hey, Skywalkers. Thank you for joining us on this podcast series where we break down each issue of the vintage Star Wars comic series that ran from 1977 to 1986. Now, some of you listening may be just like me, reading these comic series for the very first time. So I will be sharing my 21st century response to these comics, as well as my artistic thoughts. So now let's get into it and catch everyone up where we left off in the last issue, Doom Mission. All right, shall I do this? Luke and Leia were attacked by TIE fighters. Just as the situation appeared hopeless, X-Wings arrive and destroyed the fighters. Once Luke and Leia get back to the base on Yavin 4, they inform General Dodonna about the TIE fighters cleverly entering the gaseous atmosphere of Yavin. But Yavin's atmosphere is too thick for conventional signaling, so they deduce that the House of Tog and the Empire...
More time.
So they deduce...
Since the Yavin's atmosphere.
Since Yavin's atmosphere is too thick for conventional signaling, they deduce that the House of Tag and the Empire have developed some new signaling technology and set up a launch station within the gas giant. Luke goes on a mission to retrieve one of the signaling units from a downed TIE fighter, and R2-D2 is critically damaged in the process. With no other choice, Luke sets out in a captured TIE fighter fitted with the new signaling unit through the atmosphere of Yavin to the House of Tag launch station within the dangerous Yavin atmosphere. Luke destroys the station, but his problems don't end there because Baron Tag is hot on his heels.
All right, everyone got that? All right, good. Now, in this issue 27, Return of the Hunter, for some reason, this is not a direct continuation of Doom Mission where we see Baron Tag hot on Luke's heels. I was hoping for that. We didn't get it, but I got something a little bit more because this time Luke is hunted by someone else, and that someone else is the bounty hunter Valance. We had met this hunter back in issue number 16. Recall that?
I recall his name.
Okay. Well, you should remember him from recent comic book series like Bounty Hunter that Marvel had just released revolving around this character.
And this is a new series, brand new.
Brand new series. And they also brought this character back, Valance, in the continuation of this comic book series where it ended in 107. So for issue 108, they brought him back, Valance, to battle Darth Vader because he's like the biggest foe for Darth Vader.
Wow.
Now, but here, Valance is hot on Luke Skywalker's tail.
Okay.
All right, now, Valance, he's forced to live a life of a cyborg due to injuries sustained from an aerial torpedo, and Valance's mission is to find Luke Skywalker. Not only is Luke a droid owner, but he apparently treats these droids as equals, and Valance just finds this repulsive.
Which is really funny because he's a cyborg. He's like half right.
That's where the emotional roller coaster comes in.
Exactly. All right, so what else is happening in this episode?
Right. Meanwhile...
Wait, what was that?
Meanwhile, Luke has taken C-3PO with him and is mapping out the perimeter of the Galactic Empire's most recent blockade. And Luke deftly maneuvers his ship out of the way of an oncoming Imperial cruiser and hides out on the planet Junction. And he's also there to find parts for R2-D2. So he figures, if I'm on Junction, a lot of salvage yards, I'll double my efforts and get some parts for R2. Because remember, in Doom Mission, he got blown apart. Mm-hmm. So he's being very efficient. I love this Luke Skywalker. Now, Luke and C-3PO arrive at a salvage yard where they are confronted by Valance, and a battle is underway. I don't know if I should call him Valance or Valance.
I'm going to say Valance.
Valance.
For some reason, that rolls off my tongue.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, Valance. Now, will this confrontation end in an emotional struggle? Stay tuned and find out.
I love it. I'm excited. Yeah. All right, so I have a question for you, Skywalkers, because we've upgraded, so we have a slightly better camera here, too. I wonder, do we look any crisper, any better? I'm just curious. So as we're going along, let us know. All right, here we go. All right, so Return of the Hunter was released.
Hold on. This just in from Rex Gordon in our chat. Valance don't play. When he comes, he don't come to play. He means business. All right, got a couple of other comments here in the chat. Eric Unkenhout says Liberty Valance. Or is that Liberty Valance?
What is that from?
That's Liberty. Okay. We gotta we gotta decide one way or the other.
We've been saying Valance.
All right, it's Valance. It is.
Yes. Nice.
All right, here we go. All right, so tell us about the details on Return of the Hunter. This issue number 27.
All right, so it was released on June 26th, 1979, written by Archie Goodwin. And the artwork here is by Carmine Infantino, Bob Wyacek, and Petra Goldberg. The cover art is Carmen Infantino. And the editors are Jim Shooter and Archie Goodwin.
All right, now let's tell everyone about this cover, and we'll also show you this cover.
Okay, that's my job. Here we go. There you are.
All right, there we have it. Now for those of you who can't see it right now because you're just listening to this show, let us explain this to you. Luke, he's got his red lightsaber ignited, and he's standing with C-3PO in a star field. And behind them is a holographic floating head, and that head is none other than Valance.
I didn't realize it was holographic, but I guess that makes sense.
It's purplish blue.
Right.
It doesn't have the holographic little glitches, but
no.
That's the only way I could describe it. It's not really ghostly.
To me, it's monochromatic, so it's just monochromatic purple.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Now, depending on how you look at this, the fact that we see that Valance is half droid could be a spoiler. More on that confusion later. However, the narration here reads, Luke and Threepio stalked by the sinister cyborg, Return of the Hunter. So let me just go into it now. Later on, they reveal that he's a cyborg.
Yes.
But according to the cover, and according to the fact that we've already met this character,
right,
we know that he's a cyborg.
Well, yes, and isn't it the last issue, number 26, Doom Mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't the only people who survived that the station blow up was Tag mm-hmm. and Valance was there, right?
No, that was Valance's valet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I already knew he was a cyborg.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, more on that. Yeah, you and everybody else knows he's a cyborg. However, the writers over there at Marvel Comics, they didn't know at this point.
Well, the characters didn't know, I think, and that's the issue.
Well, okay, we'll get into that in just a bit. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, do I get to talk about the artwork here?
So, tell us all about the artwork here, Sarah. So now, Sarah, tell us all about the artwork on this image, on this cover.
Okay, so it's interesting. It's very much like a movie poster, a 70s movie poster, really. You know, you have like your star field, and then smack in the middle of where you're supposed to look is your heroes. So you have Luke front and center, and he's breaking the fourth wall, looking right at you. And he's got his lightsaber there, and he looks very much like He-Man. And slightly behind Luke to the left is a very muscly C-3PO. And I feel like he's like in the role of the heavy. Like he looks like he's about to punch someone. His fists are almost together. Like, you know, like his arms are ready to fight.
He's in defense mode.
Yeah, well, he's in defense mode, but it almost looks like he's like punching his fist, you know, like getting ready.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like to me. I don't know.
Looks like he's got a southpaw here.
And he's also he's taller than Luke. He's buff. And then that floating head in the monochromatic purple. I like that they chose the monochromatic purple for Valance because it really sets off the fact that Luke and Threepio are right there front and center in this bright white and this bright yellow, I think. And then yellow and purple are the opposite colors on the color wheel. So they're complementary colors there. So one stands out,
mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's great. And yeah, you can tell just from the way this poster, I'm going to call it a poster because it seems like a poster. You can tell just from the way this poster is laid out that the bad guy in the background is definitely a bad guy because it's kind of mimicking Darth Vader's head on the poster.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like it.
Okay.
Did it draw you in as a kid?
Oh, big time. I love the composition here where you have Luke in a very familiar publicity pose style.
Yes.
So that drew me in. And Come on, Marvel. It's been 2 years since we've seen the release of Star Wars. Why is Luke's lightsaber still red? They should, at some point, someone from Lucasfilm should be monitoring what's going on over there. Maybe peeking their Charlie Lippincott should have been peeking his head in the Marvel office and say, "Hey guys, what's good? Red lightsaber? Have you guys not seen Star Wars?
Yeah.
Blue." So this just tells me that Lucasfilm had no involvement in these comics whatsoever. But I think 3PO looks good.
Oh yeah.
Not very often that they get the droids or Chewie to look good, but this time he looks good. I like him.
Oh, and coming up in this issue, I have a 3PO moment. But go ahead.
Now, the head of Valance in the background, like you said, is very Vader-like. So this also brought me in because I'm getting all these Star Wars feels when I was a kid.
Okay.
I just wish they had resized his head, Valance's head, because you have Luke and 3PO right in front of him, and it looks like Valance is trying to photobomb, but not really getting the gist of it.
Right, because half his face is covered by them, so you don't really see much of his face at all.
Yeah, maybe shift Luke and 3PO to the left a little bit, or just make his head a little bit smaller, something. But it seems like when they were putting this all together, this wasn't their exact intention.
Okay.
Because you're not trying to hide the fact that this is Valance the Hunter, because we see clearly his cyborg face.
Right. Interesting.
So I would give this cover a solid B+.
Okay. I like it. All right. Chris Alexander says that they correct it in the issue. Oh, inside the issue, it's yellow, just like the Kenner toy?
Right. Yeah, that's a note that I also have.
Okay. Wow.
They go through every color but the correct color.
Oh boy. Wow. All right. Well, we have some.
Well, tell us your impressions of this, your comments.
Okay. So, like, for a minute, I thought that Luke and 3PO were being stalked by the Borg well ahead of their time in Star Trek TNG. Because that guy back there totally looks like a Borg. And they have that half face, they have the eye with the glowing light in it. Like, yeah, it's cool. But I do feel like this issue is saying, buy me, because it looks like a movie poster. And I think that would really stand out to me on store shelves.
Okay.
I like it.
Shelves? No, spinner racks. Now, we didn't have comic book shops back then. You had to go down to John's or Cumberland Farms or Store 24, go to their spinner rack, spin it a few times, and oh, there it is right there.
Well, there you go. Okay.
That's how I got my comics. All right, now let's go through some Facebook comments, because we always put these covers up in our Facebook group and ask the Skywalkers to comment. And yes, they came out with lots and lots of comments.
Yeah, so Courtney Turkel writes, why does 3PO look like a crazy robot and not a nice droid like he is?
Am I the only one who thinks 3PO looks nice on this cover?
No, Brian.
Oh, Brian Babcock says, I didn't know 3PO's face could be so expressive.
Indeed.
All right. Now, Elizara Derrick, this Skywalker is the one who actually put up the link to this comic. So if you don't have this issue, you can go to our Facebook group or in this chat. Sarah, you put this link in the chat.
Yeah.
So now you can follow along.
Yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, it should be in the chat right here as we're doing this.
All right. Frank D. Rich says, I have a confession. I got most of these comics signed over the years, but I haven't read a single one. And I wrote back and said, you know what, Frank, I'd be all over that. However, I'm in the same boat. I didn't start reading these until we started doing this podcast 5 years ago.
Not really reading them. Like, you would just look at the pictures?
No, 5 years ago when we started doing Classic Marvel with Randy Martinez.
Right.
I would start reading. I haven't read these comics.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe the later, as I got older.
Right.
Maybe issues 80 through 107 I read. But these early ones, I've never read these.
Wow.
So that's why I can't get on Frank for that.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
And that was one of the reasons for doing this podcast, to give me an excuse for reading these comic books that I've had on my shelf for 41 years.
It's a good excuse. All right. Scott Bauman writes, this cover always makes me think we can rebuild him, make him stronger, Faster. Valance is the $6 million credit hunter.
Him and Steve Austin. Eric Unkenhout says, kind of hard to see who's behind them, assuming it's Valance. Yeah, we're assuming that too. Rex Gordon, also in our chat over here, he says Valance is an epic hunter moved into the new canon and issue 108, so you know he's cool. Something Goodwin chose his name based on the film The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. See, okay, this is all coming together now.
Yes.
So if that's the case, now I've never seen this film. Was the character in this movie, was he named Valance or Valance?
I think it's up to interpretation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how Timothy Zahn's novels are Luke and Luke and all those crazy names.
All right, but Valance, once again, just seems to roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
All right, so Rex goes on by saying, at any rate, Valance, much like Baron Tagg, served the purpose of showing that at this point, Luke can kind of hang with a villain that Vader can easily defeat. Luke needs more training.
That's the moral of the story.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Rex, Valance rhymes with pants.
Valance.
That's cute.
All right. Well, if we say Valance or Valance, you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah. All right. Reynold Gobet says the cover looks epic. He-Man Luke ready to defend a really scared Threepio. Side note, I've really been enjoying the new Valance comics so far. All right, I gotta get into these now.
Yeah, I started to like them because
Okay.
you had Valance, and then he was teaming up with Boba Fett and Bosk, and had a really great story.
Wow.
Then it just kind of fell out of Star Wars.
Oh.
And I couldn't find any characters that I was really relating to. So I fell out of it. I still kept up with it, but I'm just gonna read these just to read these. But the last issue was starting to bring things back around again. Okay. I don't want to ruin anything. It has a great story, but when you throw in too many characters that all look and sound the same.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So it wasn't my favorite.
Okay.
But I'm just so happy that they've chosen to create a new canon series based on an expanded universe, classic Marvel Star Wars comics character.
Right. I think that's neat.
I'm going to go back to my Boston roots. That is wicked awesome.
All right. But you know what character they should have chosen?
Well, Jackson.
They
have brought Jackson back, not in these series.
Who was the captain that you cosplayed as?
Oh, Captain Jack.
Captain Jack, right? Is that his name? No. With the no pants.
Crimson Jack.
Crimson Jack.
With the no pants, yes.
The muscly legs.
Oh.
The unitard with the big shoulders. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I was going to say, well, unfortunately, he didn't make it out of this series, but then again, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Not in comics.
Yeah.
No. If they can bring the Iron Man 2020 with the big gears back, they could bring Crimson Jack back.
Well, if you can bring back Darth Maul after he's been sliced in half, you can bring back anybody.
That's true too.
All right, Chris Alexander, he is saying, am I the only one who read these comics as a kid back in the day? To answer your question, yes.
No, Rex read them too.
Oh.
And Eric discovered these in the early 90s.
Okay.
I'm not sure how old Eric was, but he could have been more of a kid then. Let's see. Not my favorite. Okay.
All right. Chris Alexander says Crimson Jack.
Yes.
Yes. Crimson Jack.
Yes. Cool.
All right. Well, thank you for those thoughts. But now, Sarah, let's get into our initial thoughts on this issue as a whole.
Okay. So this issue surprised me. I really, really liked it a lot. It had an emotional core as well as lots of action. And it had the characters that you knew plus new characters that you could really not necessarily relate with, but like understand where they're coming from. Like any good bad guy, Marvel does this really well, but any good bad guy has their own perspective. They don't see themselves as a villain. They just have their own way of looking at things that to others may seem villainous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I thought this was great. I thought it was an entertaining read, and it also brought up and dealt with some heavy issues that, like, if you were older than a kid, you would kind of, extrapolate the cyborg issue with like racism, So I thought it was a great read. There's racism here toward droids and seeing them as lesser beings, and that's what you can extrapolate into the real world. And I like the fact that we have a bad guy who also has a weakness, so we can feel for him. It's not just he's the villain, he's the bad guy and all powerful. He's got this weakness. And there was one little issue in the comic, a hiccup, but we'll go into that as we get into the issue.
Okay.
So overall, like, this is one of my favorite issues to date.
Wow. Nice. All right.
What about you?
I love the fact that once again, we're developing on this expanded universe character who has proven popular enough to bring back not only in his own series, but to reinvigorate the whole classic Star Wars series as a whole. Because once again, they brought him back for issue 108.
Okay.
So they're really grabbing onto this character, which, you know what this means?
What?
We're going to see him in Mandalorian.
Oh, just like Thrawn,
Yeah.
right? They just grabbed on the Thrawn, right?
Yeah, now that's a speculation, but he is canon now, which means he is good to go for the Mandalorian. Are you hearing us, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni? Hello, hello. Now, if we can have Darth Vader in these issues, well, let's bring back his biggest rival. Now, that was some of the story points that really appealed to me as a kid, because you would have Vader and Valance just going at it like two big titans.
Wow.
And back then, no one could rival Darth Vader. He is Darth Vader. So I love the fact that we're giving the biggest, most powerful villain an equal rival.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Now, this has the emotional twist I would not expect. I don't expect these kinds of twists from a book that's written for the 7 and 8-year-olds. And considering a lot of these artists and writers, they've got like 30 other series they're writing at the same time. Let's just put the easiest story out there, but not this time. I love this twist, and I read it a couple of times because I just loved it so much.
Oh.
Now, one more thing. I love the buddy duo of Luke and Threepio.
Yeah, they work well with each other.
Yeah. It really harkened back to the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Now, Eric, I think we did answer your question here. What is it about Valance that makes him so popular? Well, 1, he can rival Darth Vader. 2, he's kind of got his own perspective that you can understand as a villain.
Well, because also the one thing about him he's projecting out onto others.
Yes.
Because he is a droid, he hates being a droid. He'd much rather have been killed in that aerial torpedo attack, but he's been turned into a cyborg. Mm-hmm. He hates that about himself, so he's going to kill anything out there that reflects that back to him.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's got so much development.
And some issues.
Yeah.
The weakness. It's that weakness there.
Yeah.
It's like really draws you in.
Yeah. It's very ironic. It's one of those ironic character development pieces.
Yeah. And Rex says also, Valance kicks butt. Nice.
He does.
Cool.
And he looks cool.
He does look cool. All right, so shall we get into it here? Okay, hold on. Get you this. Let me go down one. Here we go.
All right, now let's get into the story. Return of the Hunter. Return of the Hunter. We open this issue with Valance, who is blasting a guy in a cantina on the planet Junction, where sudden death is no great novelty.
Oh boy.
Oh, there's a line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sarah, explain to us this splash page.
All right. Well, this is a really rockin' splash page there. It has the title Return of the Hunter. Very, very big. And we're in a moment of action. The foreground contains this blue muscled leg, arm, and gun, and it's shooting into a crowd and hitting a poor guy. And this guy's gun is flying out of his hand. And behind him are several aliens who were minding their own business, having blue milk in I'm assuming, a cantina. And they have shocked faces. They're looking ready to run. And even though there are no characters we recognize here, I feel like this is a really neat splash page and it represents this action, you know? And and the writing says, in most Outworld cantinas, sudden death is no great novelty. Still, even in these environs, when dealt with enough swiftness and savagery, shock and fright quickly follow.
Now you can tell they said, who's Valance gonna shoot? Just make someone up look like Han Solo.
Yeah, totally.
And give him a jacket.
Uh-huh.
And there you go.
He's got Han Solo pants.
Han Solo facial features.
Yep.
It pretty much is Han Solo. they had to cut corners.
Gun flying out of his hand.
But it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
Oh, but and an interesting thing, you do not see Valance's head here. So it's like one of those where you're slowly revealing the character. You only see his muscled arm and leg.
He kind of looks like Skeletor.
Oh yeah.
Because he's of that two-tone blue.
Yeah, it's really neat. Yeah, and I want to say that this opening here reminds me so much of the Mandalorian beginning, season 1. Where you have a cantina,
Mm-hmm.
you have Mando walking in, and you got your moment of action where he takes out some guys and picks up his bounty.
Well, it very much does reflect that Star Wars gunslinger genre.
Yes.
That theme of the gunslinger. Now, Valance says that his target was Marco Tyne, who was wanted in 9 systems for unlicensed slaving.
Unlicensed?
Yeah.
I guess slaving is okay then?
Yeah, but hold on to your seat because here comes a Fatum fast fact. Okay, now, Marco Tyne was unreferenced for many, many years after this until 2005, where he was included in the story The Hunt Within, Valance's Tale, Part 5, Showdown on Junction.
My goodness gracious, what is this?
This is a scenario for Wizards of the Coast Star Wars miniature game.
Okay.
And they had mentioned that Tyne was identified as a Zygarian.
All right, so what's a Zygarian?
All right, well, let's bring this up here. We have an image.
Okay.
We have an image all the way at the bottom.
Oh, gotcha.
Of what we know of Zygarians these days.
Ooh.
Now, you may recognize them from the Clone Wars. And they look a little bit like Wolverine.
A lot like Wolverine.
Yeah, got those almost like feline ears.
Right.
Where with Wolverine, it's more of the mask or his hair. But these characters here have big feline ears. But in the comic, he's just a regular guy.
Okay. Yeah. That looks like Han Solo.
Yeah. Yeah, so once again, they've been in many Clone Wars episodes.
Yes.
And they just changed the fact of what a Zygarian is.
Okay. Interesting.
Right. Now, going back to the story, patrons ask the bartender who this hunter is, and he fills them in, and also reminding us, the readers, who this character is too. His name is Valance. Once he was a soldier of promise serving the Empire. That service was ended by a rebel aerial torpedo. Yet, thanks to advanced medical techniques, he survives and curses the fact that he does. For Valance, he's become something less than he was, or something far more. And the patron asking the bartender this question about who the character is, who the hunter is, his follow-up question is it Valance or Valance?
Right. Well, thank goodness for this bartender, because without him...
He doesn't really ask that.
No. I want to say thank goodness for this bartender, though, because without him, you wouldn't have got this nice little backstory here.
Yeah. And I like the fact that they do it through dialogue and not just the narration blocks.
Mhm.
So it works into the story.
Yes. All right. Hello, A. We're glad you found us.
Hey.
Is this dude, which dude, supposed to be a Cantina band alien?
Oh, you get some Cantina Aliens in the back.
Yeah, you do.
They could be, I think they're very inspired by Cantina
Like these guys?
Aliens. Like, yeah, maybe at the Duro, and there's a Tells back there.
Right. Mm,
So,
okay.
yes. And they're all dressed very Kennerish. Now, Valance goes to see a scrapyard, and meets up with a dealer named Skinker.
What the heck? This is probably the worst name I've ever heard.
Oh, I was going to say this is probably the best name I've ever heard.
Nope.
His name is Skinker.
Come on, you have to say Stinker.
You know what? I didn't put that together.
Sure you did.
Now, Skinker, he acquires droids for Valance to destroy.
Mm.
The more droids this guy can destroy, the better he feels about himself.
Yeah, I thought this was very odd.
Yeah, but you know how that is. Destruction never leads to self-fulfillment. Never.
No.
And Skinker, he's also got an eye out for a certain rebel lad who moves around with a Threepio and R2 unit. And that is Valance's main prize, since the lad had a crucial part in the rebel victory at the Battle of Yavin.
Wow.
Now, they never say the Death Star battle, just says an aerial attack.
Right. Yeah, it's like, that's a big battle.
Yeah.
It has a name now.
Yeah. Now, Valance then starts a rant. Valance starts a rant about how it aggravates him that this rebel lad treats droids like friends. And Skinker doesn't exactly share his hatred for droids. In fact, he says that they're tools. They're tools and they have their uses. And he just can't see hating them the way Valance does. And Valance says, "It's something you'll never understand, old man." And then a thought bubble continues the thought and says, "Not if you want to go on living." So Skinker, he doesn't know that Valance is a cyborg.
Right. Right. And at this point in the issue, even though we've met Valance before, it's been a while. So I even wrote my notes. I was like, so why does Valance hate droids so much? Like, enough so that he buys them so that he can destroy them. Like, that just didn't make any sense to me. But as we go on, we understand more.
Yeah, well, because he's the cyborg.
Right. Well, yeah.
Okay, now you understand.
Right. Yeah. And this is just building his character.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. So this kind of shows, not tells, how much that Valance hates droids,
Mm-hmm.
or at least proposes to hate droids.
Now, Valance goes back to his ship, and he's obsessing over that rebel lad that escaped from the Death Star and has that illegal dupe of an Imperial transmission tape.
Oh.
And there is our Rogue One reference, because they're mentioning that transmission tape.
From where?
All right, he's saying that the rebel lad has that illegal dupe of the Death Star plans.
Oh, gotcha.
That's what he's saying, but they're saying it in so many other words.
Okay.
And the fact that he mentions it's an illegal dupe, I'm not sure why that's put in there.
Duplicate.
Yeah, because they didn't steal a dupe. They didn't make a copy of the Death Star plans. They stole the Death Star plans.
Right.
So there's a lot of things in here that is confusing. So you have to just dig through their meaning.
Okay, I didn't even put this together with Rogue One. But...
So this is where John Knoll read this and said, "Oh, I've got an idea for Rogue One." All right, Kathleen Kennedy, take a seat. Did you read Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics number 27? The whole plan for our next film was all laid out.
Okay, I get it. All right.
Really? I didn't think you'd buy into that.
Yes, and.
Love it. And their tapes. It's not like a reel-to-reel. Maybe an 8-track tape. All right. Yes, and. All right, now, Valance is banking on the fact that since there is an Imperial blockade out in the galaxy, that the lad will end up here on the planet Junction.
Why would that be?
Because there's only so many planets in the galaxy, maybe a couple of billion. So sooner or later, he's bound to end up here on Junction.
And that's when he shouts, I'll destroy you, droid lover. Because that's a slur if there ever was one.
Yeah. And the narration goes on to reveal that Valance is a cyborg.
Now, this is a pretty cool panel right here.
Yes.
Where now is he like holding his face away, or what is happening with this?
I think that's more of an artistic
choice
to lead you to his face.
Okay.
But now they're revealing it. Why?
Right.
So this is what I'm thinking. Maybe a different artist and writer had to step in for this part of the comic, who didn't know that he'd already been revealed, and no one had proofread this issue.
Okay.
So I'm so confused. In fact, when I first read this while taking notes for this episode, I had to go back and find the previous issue with Valance. And then after about an hour or two of going back and forth and sitting in a fetal position, I realized, someone just made a mistake over there.
Okay.
All right. We then cut to a stubby blockade runner in the Gordian Reach within deep space.
This is like a weird ship. It's like a blockade runner, but it's like missing a section.
It's like a baby blockade runner.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So I'm guessing you're wondering, had we heard of the Gordian Reach since this issue?
Since?
Yes.
I don't know about since, but I know we've heard.
No, go ahead and ask me that.
Oh, have we heard of the Gordian Reach since this issue, Richard?
Thank goodness we have a Fatum Fast Fact ready to go. Because the Gordian Reach, as seen in this issue, was confirmed to be canon by the reference book Ultimate Star Wars in 2015. And it was mentioned in Dooku Jedi Lost, several episodes of Star Wars Rebels, and the Rogue One adaptation.
Rogue One adaptation? Oh, so the books.
Yes.
Mention it. Okay.
Yes.
Well, no wonder that sounds familiar to me.
Oh, really? Yeah.
No, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's been in a couple of things, and if it's been in Rebels,
right, it would definitely sound familiar. So
right.
I just couldn't tell you what happened there, but
this was the first time we'd seen it. This is why I always preach to the fans. You got to know these stories, because Lucasfilm Story Group, they're just picking and choosing from these issues and going, aha, we can use this.
Yep.
Come on, Details. You're now a cloud rider.
Don't you wish?
All right, now back to the story, where Luke and Threepio are on a mission to probe the extent of the Empire's blockade. And as they round a planet, they see an Imperial Star Destroyer.
Dun, dun, dun.
And they take evasive maneuvers and race away, but the destroyer is hot on their tail. So Luke yells to Threepio that they can use Han Solo's smuggling trick, threading the asteroids, as he called it.
Okay.
All right, but when did Han fly through asteroids at this point?
Yeah.
This is pre-Empire.
Exactly.
So maybe when Lucas and Lawrence Kasdan and Lee Brackett were writing the Empire Strikes Back treatments, they read this issue and said, hey, you know what? Apparently Han Solo, he's been threading asteroids, so let's have him fly through asteroids.
Makes sense to me. It's just missing one thing.
Asteroids.
The soundtrack.
Oh, that's it. But we're also missing asteroids, because Luke says we're gonna thread the asteroids.
Right.
I'm seeing nary an asteroid.
Let's see. Yeah, they don't give us kind of an establishing enough shot to see asteroids.
Mm-mm.
All right. However, I have a question here.
Oh, okay.
On page 8, at the bottom panel, you see a giant something hit the Imperial Star Destroyer, and it's this big purple explosion as the Imperial blockade runner, flies away and escapes. Is that supposed to be an asteroid hitting the Star Destroyer? What is that? What's going on?
I think they missed the panel.
Yeah.
Not us, but them.
Right, like an asteroid coming for them? Or is that supposed to be like the blockade runner?
Well, clearly there's no asteroids.
Right.
So it looks like the blockade runner is ricocheting off the front of the Star Destroyer and causing an explosion.
That makes no sense. So I don't know. Is the explosion on the Star Destroyer, or is it closer in space to us, and he's ricocheting off an asteroid that just blew up?
Well, we're seeing these lines coming from the blockade runner, which says this is the trajectory of the ship. So it looks like it bounced, and as Rex Gordon says in the chat, it's a volleyball. It's ricocheting off of the Star Destroyer.
Huh.
So I've got no answer.
Okay. Eric is surmising that it is the chunks of Alderaan. Too soon, Eric. Too soon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't get it.
They won't land on Alderaan, irregardlessly.
All right. Well, that panel confused the heck out of me.
Okay. Now, this might confuse you as well, because Luke says to Threepio, get the navigational computer perking, Threepio.
Love it.
Perking?
Perking.
I'm guessing like a percolator.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Percolating.
I didn't get that at first. Okay. All right. Then he continues, we're going into phase 2 of our mission. They jump into hyperspace, which brings them to the planet Junction.
What?
Oddly enough, coincidentally, they're going to Junction.
I know. How could that be?
Yeah. Even if you told Valance, hey, guess what just landed? He wouldn't believe you because it happened so quickly.
That's okay, you know.
Yeah, okay.
I glossed over these.
Yeah, you gotta push the story.
Yes.
Now, when Luke and Threepio depart the ship into the bay, Luke makes the comparisons to the Mos Eisley spaceport and comments that this is the first real city he's had a chance to see since the time they stopped on Centaurus, but they were too busy fleeing Darth Vader to play tourist.
Well, he's been on the wheel. I mean, the wheel is gigantic.
Yeah, but he's being chased by Darth Vader there too.
And that's not.
He's always being chased by Darth Vader.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. You think Luke would have bigger things on his mind right now? Threepio then comments, only the prospect of getting the parts we need to repair R2-D2 would make me come here voluntarily. But you really had no choice because you were fleeing from the Star Destroyer.
Right.
And once again, R2 was blown apart by that TIE fighter pilot back in the last issue Doom mission. Now, in the foreground here, we see what?
Which one? This right here?
Oh, where'd he go?
I don't know. Is it here?
Yeah. Oh, no. Right there. Okay, go back.
Uh-oh.
Right there. See, another Cantina Alien. We see a Tells.
Now, for those of you who don't know, that's the one that he's got like what, 2 mouths and 4 eyes?
4 eyes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Many of you Hasbro collectors know him as Mooftak.
Ah.
Now, Luke spots the salvage shop that coincidentally belongs to who, Sarah? Who do you think it belongs to? Sebulba?
Oh, no.
To Watto?
No.
No. Who else owns a salvage shop?
Oh, no.
Say it. Say it. Say
Don't make me say this.
Say it.
I don't want to say it.
Skinker. Say it.
No, I hate it. You said it.
Okay, it's Skinker. That's what it is, my sweetie Richard. That's right, Sarah. That's his name. This salvage yard belongs to Skinker.
Want to do this podcast by yourself?
Looks like I am doing it by myself. That's okay. I'll stay here, okay? And I'll keep on saying Skinker whenever you want. Oh, well, thanks, sweetie.
I don't have a voice that high. What are you doing?
But I think I'm fooling everybody else.
Okay.
All right. Oh, hold on. They're on the planet Junction, and Chris Alexander says it in the chat. Conjunction, junction. What's your function? Using a planet to sell savage goods. All right.
Savage goods?
Salvage. All right, just run with it, okay?
I did.
Okay. All right, now, Threepio doesn't say he's got a bad feeling about this, but he does say, should we just settle for the first one, Master Luke, or shop around?
A droid saying shop around just sounds funny to me.
Yeah, but Luke has the brilliant idea of spreading his shopping to various trades so it doesn't arouse Imperial suspicion. Remember that'll come back in a little bit, but who stole this idea in a TV series?
Oh,
if you're gonna say Walter White in Breaking Bad, I'm gonna say you're correct.
That would be it.
Recall, he didn't want to get all of his what was he selling?
Selling? Oh, the meth.
The
Crystal meth?
He didn't want to buy all of his meth making materials at the same place.
Right.
Because someone could say, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Right,
So
exactly.
he spread it around.
Okay.
That's what Luke is doing right now.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
See, everyone's taking from these classic Marvel issues. All right. So, Skinker, what's his name, sweetie?
That's his name. You said it.
All right, his name is Skinker. Oh, thanks, sweetie. Skinker gets very excited when he sees Luke and Threepio walk into his shop and tells his assistant, Polyp.
Wow.
And there's no Fatum fast fact on Polyp. This is his one and only Star Wars experience.
Mm-hmm. What does he tell Polyp?
He tells Polyp to hurry and get Valance.
Uh-oh.
So things are about to take a turn.
The plot thickens.
So this is where we need to take a commercial break.
Oh.
Now, there wasn't much to choose from in this issue. No fun superhero hostess tie-in. But I came back around to this particular sweepstakes ad.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to show everyone right here.
Ooh.
All right, I'm going to open this book very carefully.
I'll show them.
No, you won't. See, look at this right over here. All right. Are you seeing that?
No.
See that right there?
It's very dark.
Okay.
Turn it this way.
All right.
Which one? The one on the
right?
right?
Right here.
Okay. Put it here.
Okay. See it right there? All right. That's the ad we're going to be focusing on. And once again, there wasn't very much to choose from.
You got to put it here so I can see it.
And okay, let's say what this ad. Let's read what this ad says, okay?
I would, but you put it away.
All right. It reads, "Hey kids, what a fantastic trip to a faraway place and be on Journey to Adventure."
Oh, you said win a fantastic trip. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Cool. It's a popsicle sweepstakes, everyone.
And I'm looking at this going, Journey to Adventure. What is that? What is Journey to Adventure? Now, has anyone in the chat ever heard of this show?
Oh, it's a show? No.
It's a show, yes. So,
well,
yeah.
I haven't because I wasn't alive in 1979.
And this was a tie-in between Journey to Adventure and Popsicles.
Okay.
And all you had to do was fill out the form, send it in, and you were entered to be on this show. So the sweepstakes goes on to say, imagine traveling to Africa, Alaska, or Europe with famous Gunther Less and his TV crew.
Oh, wow.
You could be the lucky one, and all your friends and relatives could see you and your family on Journey to Adventure. So I'm looking at this going, is Gunther Less like a fictional character?
Yeah.
What is going on here? So
it's in a cartoon, like it's in a cartoon format. There's no actual picture.
Which is very misleading because this was not a cartoon. So I did some deep dives, and this was a highly rated documentary series hosted by this guy, Gunther Less. That's his real name. And it was shown globally for 39 years.
Wow.
Now, one of the most exciting things about this show is the logo. So, Sarah, go ahead and show us the logo.
Oh, okay.
All right, so this is 1979.
No, I just had it. It's not there.
Oh.
I'm not sure where it went.
Okay, go to the very top. And, where'd it go?
Yeah, that's why I'm just saying.
Okay.
It wasn't there.
All right, hold on 1 second. You got to see this logo. What? That is screenshot.
I know. It should be here. There. Okay. Hold on. I got to share it, though. All right, so this is their actual logo? All right,
this is the logo to Journey to Adventure with Gunther Less.
All right. Sorry, these controls are different. What?
What does this logo look like?
That looks a lot like Indiana Jones.
Yes, this is the exact logo style and the font used in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yep.
And even below where it says with Gunther Less, that's the same font as when they later had used this logo and put Indiana Jones.
Yes. That's crazy.
Yeah. Now, this is this is where the parallels to Raiders of the Lost Ark ends.
Uh-huh.
Because Gunther Less, he ain't no Indiana Jones.
No.
No.
Well, it's
No.
sad.
Yeah, this was basically a basic cable access channel show
Okay.
where you get the host, you put a plant or a blue screen behind him and a guest.
Oh.
This show had so this is a clip from their Christmas episode. You can find a few of these on YouTube. And I found this Christmas episode and I thought, hey, what better time to run a clip from the Journey to Adventure Christmas Holiday Special.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I ended up watching about an hour
Of
this documentary that ran an hour and 18 minutes because it became so fascinating to see how other nations celebrated Christmas.
It's like it's a small world holiday, but like documentary style.
Yeah, very much so. And they even go through the first time that the song Silent Night was sung back in 1818.
In Germany, and they sang it
in
Stille Nacht.
Austria.
Yeah, Stille Nacht. That's right, in Austria.
Yeah.
Stille Nacht.
It's a very fascinating story. So an hour into this, I'm like, okay, I gotta go back to my notes. But it's one of these series that you gotta watch. So we're gonna put the link right now in the chat.
But we'll also put it in our show notes.
Yeah.
Wow.
So don't start watching it now because we'll lose you.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and this guy Gunther Less should have no part in this guy's name because he did so much. He was a travel guide, a travel historian, an advocate for this group and that group, and sadly he passed away in 2011. So we can't have him on as a guest.
Okay. Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that with us, sweetie.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't find anything about this contest online or anything else about it. In fact, there's only maybe a handful of things you'll find about Journey to Adventure online. But you know what? At the end of the day, I feel much wiser for knowing what Journey to Adventure is and the man who was Gunther Less.
Nice. All right.
So do you know what we're watching tonight?
We're going to watch more Christmas Story.
We're gonna watch Journey to Adventure.
I love it. All right. Well, now back to our story.
Rex Gordon says in the chat, contest was rigged possibly. I couldn't tell you one way or the other.
All right. Well, hold on a moment while I get this back.
Pierre Jason Kelly says copyright infringement, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they passed that 8-year grace period.
Oh, it's like 25 years. But
since 1979.
Yeah, let me find this. Is this it? This is it. Oh boy. All right, back to our story, everyone. You flip the page and all of a sudden we are taken out of Junction. We're no longer in Junction. All of a sudden we are with Princess Leia standing on a temple pyramid on the 4th moon of Yavin, looking out into the galaxy. It's a very contemplative shot. She looks out, knowing somewhere out there are 2 young men that she deeply cares about.
Is one of them Fievel?
Somewhere out there. Yes.
Now, you know what? I think this shot is lifted from the last issue.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, they cut and pasted.
Yeah. All right, so General Dodonna approaches her, and Leia says that she thinks that it is wrong that she is left waiting here while everyone else runs around being brave. Dodonna then tells her she's too important of a symbol of the revolution but she cuts him off and says, then I should be seen and in action. Otherwise, I'm no better than the Emperor skulking in his palace.
That says a lot right there, because at this point, we knew nothing about the Emperor.
Ooh, okay.
Other than he was just a figurehead up in his castle and just left there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what she's referring to. So
wow.
I give them a lot of credit for they can't get Luke's lightsaber color correct, but they can get the little minutia of the Emperor correct.
Right. Wow. All right. So yeah, this is so interesting. Leia then goes off on how she went against him before, but for the wrong reason. Personal concern over Luke Skywalker. I realize now I can't afford to give in to such feelings.
Now, didn't the narration just read that she is thinking of Luke and Han somewhere in the galaxy? Didn't we just read that?
Yes, and then okay, so then Leia leans in to Dodonna. Their faces are very close together, and Dodonna here kind of looks like the brawny guy. The brawny
he does
paper
look
towel guy.
like the brawny paper towel guy. That's him.
And is she giving him a kiss here?
Her lips are puckered.
Yes.
She's leaning in. He's smiling. So I would say yes.
And she says, "Now let's go inside."
Wait, what?
This night air makes me talk too much.
What
is this implying?
Are you reading the right comic?
I don't know.
Is this Vampira? Is this some of these After Dark comics?
This is super weird.
This is not.
And then you turn the page and you're like, wait, but there's no. Okay, that's the scene ends. What just happened? All right.
Very confused.
I need to stop everything here. Okay. This story beat makes no sense at all. And now, as a woman reading this comic, at first I saw Leia pining away for her two men, this small figure here, and I was like, okay, this is not in Leia's character at all. She'd be doing something, right? So then you get that. Then she starts telling General Dodonna that she should be doing something, and I was like, awesome, great. What's she gonna do? Then she's like petting Dodonna's head like he's her boyfriend, and let's go inside. This night air makes me talk too much, implying I don't know. So I don't know. I don't know what to think. I'm very confused and upset.
Rex Gordon is saying in the chat, Leia is still texting Simon Greyshade too. Whoa, but you know what? Eric brings this around in the chat. He says, Leia's lonely. Her two boyfriends are ignoring her.
Well, they're just out on missions. They're not ignoring her. Oh
yeah,
my God.
We're reading things that I guess are there. I don't know.
Well, the fact that she has her hand like on his head.
Yeah.
Like you don't pet someone's head unless you're like boyfriend, girlfriend, or very close.
Or married.
Yeah, or they're your cat. So, or your loft cat, right? I don't know. This comic took a left turn.
Yeah, this is not the Princess Leia we knew in Star Wars.
No. Okay, so this is my one beef.
All right,
with this issue.
All right. It's a big beef. It's a very, very big beef.
Big beef, and if you just like rip this page right out, there, give me your issue, Richard. I'll rip the page out.
Put that hand down right. Put that hand down right now. All right, Eric, what are you saying here? Woman's got to do what a woman's got to do. Not with Dodonna.
No.
Yeah, Luke and Han are still out there.
Yeah.
They're coming back. You know what? Can we move on, please?
Yes. Okay. Next.
All right. Now we cut back to Junction and into a twisted alley where a dark figure who looks like Garandon from Star Wars slips into a humble-seeming room that boasts a concealed long-range transmitter among its furnishings.
I was nice of the narration to tell us that.
Yes. Remember Garandon? He was the spy at Mos Eisley.
Okay. The one who's depicted here.
Yeah, the one who's depicted here.
Trunk.
Yeah, so I guess in Star Wars, if you look like a spy, you look like this guy.
Right. And he's the forever spy.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
All right. Suddenly, Valance steps in and aims his blaster at the Econo Garandon and says, "You can't report to Darth Vader, spy. Not on that set. I fused the circuitry while I was waiting for you." He tells the dark figure that he makes it a habit to learn all about the spies in a new port. Is he telling that to the figure or to us?
I think to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before the dark figure can reach out to let Vader know that the boy and the droids are here, Valance blasts him with a
Vacow! Wow. All right. So at this point, if you didn't know that Valance was a bad guy already by all the, dialogue and stuff, well, you certainly do now, because he just dumped a whole bunch of stuff in this lovely monologue, and now we know, because you know that villains like to monologue.
Very much so. But he didn't hit him that hard because he didn't hit him with a fatum.
It's just a vacow?
Yeah, that's not as hard or as deadly.
No?
As a fatum. It's deadly, just not as deadly. Okay?
Okay. It looks pretty deadly.
Yeah, but just not as deadly as a fatum shot.
The words are pretty big, though.
They are, but they're not fatum. That's why it's called a fatum fast fact, because they're fun, fast facts. And then fatum is hard, and it's fast, and it's dangerous. Okay. Just like those fast facts.
All right, I'll let you have this one.
Okay, good. Now, back at someone's shop here, the salvage shop. Sarah, whose salvage shop is this?
Oh, this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, who is that again? I forget.
Rhymes with kinker.
Yeah, it's Stinker, sweetie. No, I'm sorry, Skinker. Back at Skinker's shop. Well, thank you, sweetie. Back at Skinker's shop, Threepio mentions that they got all their parts to fix R2. Now, didn't Luke just say he was gonna spread around his business?
He did. However, Luke is also on the hunt for other parts for the Alliance, not just R2's parts. So he got R2's parts first, but I think he was intending to go to other shops to get some parts for other things that the rebels need.
Are you making this up, or did you?
No, I'm not. No, this is what I got from their first initial why Luke is heading to this planet Junction.
Well, he was forced to this planet from the Star Destroyer.
Okay, but he was on his way before the Star Destroyer. He was on his way to pick up parts for a bunch of stuff, not just R2.
Okay.
I go look it up.
Okay.
That's what my impression was.
Okay, you
so
know
it must be right.
Yes, dear. All right, now Luke goes to see what's taking Skinker so long in packing the parts, and overhears Skinker yelling at Polyp about delivering the message to Valance, and he's saying the rebel is starting to get really suspicious. What's taking you so long? So Luke pulls out his blaster on Skinker, but Valance suddenly shows up.
All right. So I have a beef with this panel too, because these panels are small, and Valance shows up, and he's tiny. So at first I thought this was just Skinker again talking, and so I was keeping on reading, and I'm like, wait, what happened here? Wait, oh, this is Valance. I was confused. So what they really needed was Valance in the foreground again, like another foreground shot, like the very opening, where you have like his arm. Just a blue arm with a blaster would have been enough.
Oh, you call that a motif?
Right. It would have been enough to be like, oh my gosh, look out, on the page.
But you see Valance in the background, and he doesn't have that fluffy Gary Kurtz beard.
Right, but he's in the deep background, and the wall is blue, and he is blue, and he just blends in and disappears.
Okay, I can see that point. All right, now Luke, he pushes Threepio out of the way as Valance fires a shot and seals himself in the back room of Skinker and demands to know where the back door is.
Ugh.
Just then, Valance uses his turbo hand blast and blows apart the main door. Luke is out cold. However, the blast has killed Skinker and Polyp.
I'm not sad.
Sweetie, a man and his alien sidekick just lost their lives.
The very horrible name.
Sweetie,
I don't care.
I demand that you mourn over Skinker and Polyp.
So now, was this the emotional center of the issue?
Oh no, that's coming up.
I know. All right.
All right.
Keep going.
All right. Valance says, after weeks of waiting, I'm sorry it has to be over so quickly. Just as Valance is stepping over Luke in a very peculiar panel.
Where are you looking at?
Look at the next panel.
The next page?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah. Luke's eyes open, and he grabs Valance's foot and does something which is hard to figure out. Now, he's tripping him, but
he's way up in the air.
Yeah, like he did like a shoulder roll over Luke to begin with.
Oh, weird.
And Luke just grabbed his foot.
Yeah.
But it's the previous panel that really messed me up.
Okay, now let's just think. Well, and his feet in the next panel are facing the wrong way. So like he like literally lifted Valance and flipped him around and lifted him up.
It could happen.
It could because he's got the Force.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now Luke ignites his lightsaber. What color is his lightsaber?
Yellow.
Just like the Kenner toys.
It
And tell us the background here, Sarah. What's going on in this panel?
looks like a big top. Doesn't it?
It looks like Pee-wee should be in this panel as well.
Who?
Pee-wee's big top.
Oh, I always think of Dumbo, but okay.
Okay.
We can go with Pee-wee.
Sure.
But that's what it reminded me of. It was like a big top, and you're looking up into the top of the tent, and the rest of it is spread out around you in these red and pink stripes. Yeah.
I like this.
But it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now, Valance can't believe he sees a lightsaber in this day and age. And with what kind of sound effect?
Whoop.
No, not a fatoon, but a whoomp, which
Yes.
is not as
That's
deadly.
a lightsaber. It's pretty deadly for a lightsaber.
Okay, I guess the laser blasts have a cow or a
Right.
kapow.
Right.
Lightsabers have a whoomp. Okay, with a whoomp, Luke slices and melts Valance's blaster. Valance fires back with his turbo hand laser. It misses Luke, but puts a big hole in the wall, to Luke's amazement.
All right. So what is that? Is his blaster being melted here? Is that what's
Yes,
happening?
that's in this panel over here. That's his blaster that Luke is slicing.
Okay, I couldn't tell what was happening.
But Valance has got these Iron Man hand turbos.
Right, totally. Okay. All right, cool.
All right.
Whoops,
So
what just happened? Oh.
So Valance fires again at Luke, who deflects the blast with his lightsaber, making a what kind of sound?
Where's it? Frack. Oh, here we go. Frack. Nice.
Doesn't Elliot say that in Scrubs?
Oh yeah, she does. Frack.
Now the blast ricochets back at Valance, hitting him in the face.
Uh-oh, but what does it reveal?
Oh, it reveals once again that he's a cyborg.
No. Luke says, "You're a Borg." Wait a minute. When did this panel suddenly jump to Star Trek? He's a Borg.
I think Star Trek jumped to Star Wars because this is. Oh, wait a minute. Did they use Borgs in the original
Not
series?
that I know of. No,
Oh,
the
right.
Borgs
Well,
were
then.
very much a construct of the Next Generation.
All right. So Star Trek copied Star Wars.
That's true, and it looks a lot like it too.
Yeah. Not only is half his face melted off, but half of his body armor.
Yeah.
Now he looks like a Terminator.
He looks like a Borg. Come on,
Terminator.
Borg.
And Valance shouts back. Now Valance shouts back. It shocks you. Even the rebels who call robots his friends. Wait a minute. Now Valance shouts.
Excuse me.
Valance shouts back. It shocks you. Even the rebels who call robots his friends. I knew it. You knew what?
Yeah,
What-
that's confusing.
Yeah, once again, they really needed proofreaders back then.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
Valance is now on the warpath, and he can't wait to remove a droid-loving hypocrite from the galaxy.
I knew it.
You're a droid-loving hypocrite.
Yeah, Luke should have been saying, "What are you talking about?
I
I never
know.
said that I didn't like droids.
Uh-huh.
I never said that. Oh, you're a droid? Ew."
Yeah, it's very odd.
Okay. Just then. Okay, now bring yourself down.
Okay.
Just then, Threepio jumps in between Luke and Valance. Valance has got enough power in his turbo hand laser for one more shot.
And that will finish Luke.
Or will it finish the droid?
Yeah,
So he's got a choice here. Like
He
this is like
does.
Sophie's choice. Will he
It
kill
is.
the droid or the droid lover?
because he's so confused because he also is half droid, half man, and he doesn't. His circuits are overloaded.
Yeah, and he yells, "Madness! Madness! Droids and humans don't behave like this. They don't sacrifice themselves for one another." So now it's like Planet of the Apes.
Oh yeah.
This house is madness. This is madness.
Yeah, and the sacrifice that Threepio is willing to do has really hit Valance in the feels.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't decide, and he decides to let them go.
Whoa.
He says, "Get out, get far from my sight." And he uses his last blast to blow a hole in the wall instead of killing either one, and walks away with his head hung low.
Oh, so that's what he needed all along, to see how droids and humans can sacrifice themselves for one another, and he also needs a big hug.
Totally.
Now, Luke says, still, I don't think we've heard the last of Mr. Valance.
Oh, nice. I love these comments, you guys.
Roll Incredible Hulk music.
Valance has been through so much trauma. Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty cyborg. Nice. And I want to say that this panel here with Threepio.
Threepio in the foreground.
Yeah. Threepio in the foreground. Oops. Uh-oh. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this rendering of Threepio's face.
Yeah, he looks sad.
He does. It's really cool.
Well, it's the eyebrows.
It is. It looks a lot like Darth Vader in that angle. I think it's in the end of Empire Strikes Back when the Falcon shoots off into hyperspace and they show that shot of him.
So we fade to black. We roll out.
Yes.
The end. Next issue, a few answers concerning Han Solo, his partner Chewbacca, and whatever happened to Jabba the Hutt.
I'm sad about this. I want to follow Valance now.
Oh, hold on to that thought. But look at the title for the next issue.
Jabba the Hutt, spelled incorrectly.
Yes. How is it spelled?
H-U-T.
How should it be spelled?
H-U-T-T.
Archie Goodwin, are you not proofreading? Well, apparently you're not proofreading this.
Well, now, was Jabba, I know Jabba comes in Return of the Jedi.
But we've seen Jabba the Hutt. We've heard about him in the novel. Hey, Chris Alexander, go grab your Star Wars novelization and see how they spell Jabba the Hutt.
Okay. All right. Wow. Well, that was an issue and a half.
It was. So Sarah, give us your last thoughts on this issue.
Okay. Well, I mean, once again, we just saw it. This emotion in this issue with Valance. Like you really feel for him. You really feel for his, what is that called? He's being torn apart from the inside. He's conflicted. Thank you. He's very conflicted. And yet, so at the beginning of this issue, he uses the term droid lover as an insult. And he's like overly out against droids, he rents droids to destroy them. So he's struggling with his identity as a cyborg and his conflict, and he's taken great pains to hide the fact that he's a cyborg, to the point where he's the one who is the most mean toward the droids. And to me, this kind of sounds like people, who are struggling to come out. They go out of their way to get dates for prom, or they do things like that. And yet finally, once they kind of accept themselves and come out, they can finally be who they are. They don't have this conflict inside, always against them. So I feel it's a really resonant theme here.
Oh, it's very, very deep.
Yeah.
Once again, before they went out. And I want to see more of Valance in the next issue. We won't, but like Luke said, I don't think we've heard the last of Mr. Valance. And in just a few minutes, we'll see the return of Valance.
Ooh.
Okay.
Just a few minutes?
Yeah. Give me a few minutes.
Okay,
cool. We'll go into that.
Okay.
But yeah, his character is so well developed.
Yeah.
Most well-developed expanded universe character in these Star Wars books.
Yeah, and I loved how this episode brought up the fact, Threepio is willing to sacrifice himself, and this action so just affects Valance in such a way. He's just rocked to his very core. So if not for that one little sidestep to Yavin and Leia and Dodonna, I would have been like, wow, this is like the best issue.
Even with the addition of Skinker?
Yeah, I don't mind them.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
oh you've turned around.
Yes.
All right. Now, Sarah, give us your favorite line of dialogue from this issue.
Luke says, "Get the navigational computer perking, 3PO." I think that's so cute. It just reminds me of percolating and like, I don't know, the fact that a nav computer can percolate, I just like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was cute. What about you?
I'm going to go with madness. Droids and humans don't behave like this. They don't sacrifice themselves for one another. That right there is the emotional crux of this series. Because
Definitely.
Star Wars is all about friends, sacrifice, and hope. And this is the hope for any civilization, that we all just get along.
I'm glad you went after me. That was much better.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait a minute. Chris Alexander says,
oh, okay.
On page 107 of the novelization, Jabba
the Hutt
jumped.
In itself, a remarkable sight.
Okay.
So Hutt.
So Chris Alexander says that on page 107 of the original novelization to Star Wars, Jabba the Hutt is spelled H-U-T. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. So if they get it wrong, then I can't blame Marvel for getting it wrong.
All right. Now Rex Gordon proposes a romance for Dodonna and Leia, a fan film. We're not going to do that, Rex. But
I think you're the only one who wants to see that. But thank you, Rex. Thank you very much. Now I can't get that image out of my head.
Right.
All right, Sarah.
Let's get new images in our head with the favorite panel. Richard, what is yours?
You know what? I first picked that image of Leia standing on the temple on Yavin 4, but I think you and I both picked that for the last issue, seeing how they cut and pasted it for this issue.
Yes.
I'm not going to go there anymore. I'm going to go with page 15, where we see Luke igniting his lightsaber, which makes the background pink and red.
You mean it makes it, let's see, like a circus tent?
Yeah, like Pee-wee's Big Top.
Love it. Nice.
And the way he's holding his lightsaber, very much like Anakin in Revenge of the Sith, when R2 springs the lightsaber over to him on Grievous's ship. That's the way he catches the lightsaber.
Cool. I love it.
Oh, me too. Me too.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with one of those last panel with C-3PO's face in the foreground looking sad on page 18, the final page. I just think it's just such a cool panel, and they really captured 3PO's face. The artist got that right this time. Looks gorgeous. And it also captures kind of the emotional core of this issue.
Well, look at 3PO's the eyelids, the way it is positioned and framed.
Yeah.
His eyelid is blocking half of his photoreceptor eye, which makes him look sad.
Yeah, and 3PO at this point is talking about the racism toward droids and cyborgs that he's experienced. So
yeah. And there's a cut panel where L337 comes in and says, "Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody."
Rebellion.
All right.
Yes.
Sarah, what is your most non-Star Wars moment or line of dialogue in this issue?
Okay. This line of dialogue it's also my favorite line of dialogue, but I saved it for now. Okay. It's when Luke says, "Valance, you're a Borg." Because it reminds me of Star Trek, and I love it.
Okay.
It's Star Trek and Star Wars in the same universe. It's awesome.
All right, I can see that. For me, it's when Valance exclaims during his thought of catching Luke Skywalker, "That is when I'll destroy you, droid lover." Yeah. I think this was this also popped out to me on another issue where someone called something a something lover.
Yeah.
I
think someone was calling Han like a alien lover or something like that. Yeah.
That just has no place in Star Wars.
No.
All right. Jim Scooby Meyer.
Wow.
Oh, he wrote out a big paragraph here. He says, "Hey, you two, I just want to say a huge thank you. This brought me back to my childhood from a galaxy far, far away. I certainly am living with a visual disability.
He currently
Oh.
is.
I am currently living with a visual disability, and comics, which were once a source of joy, are now a challenge. Oh, now we have a way to enjoy these once again with fellow Star Wars fans.
Oh,
Much love.
awesome, Jim.
Oh,
Well, we're glad we could share it with you.
yeah, we need to put you in touch with Resilient Squadron.
Yay.
All right, well, thank you for that. All right, Sarah, before we roll up this show,
Yes.
all right, Sarah, before we wrap up this show, we have to read a letter from the Star Wars letter column.
And these were always the letters that fans wrote in, and they would select a few to put at the end of each comic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right, so let's hit me.
All right, this issue includes this letter here. Dear Archie, my only request for improving the comic, if any improvement is possible, would be the return of the bounty hunter Valance. We all love Valance. Next to a certain Dark Lord, he's the best villain you've come up with. Now, which Dark Lord is he talking about?
Dark Lord, Darth Vader.
Oh, okay.
Why? Not Voldemort.
No. Oh, okay. So that's where I was confused back in 1979. All right. This is signed Kevin Sichowski, 1623 Morgan Ave North, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 55411. And like always, I went to the internet. I went to Facebook to see if I could find this person.
Kevin Chakowski.
And I did find one that lived in that same area.
Okay.
And then I realized, oh, the last name is similar, just not the right one.
Oh, okay.
It's like it was Kevin Chakowski.
Right.
So I wrote him a big, long Facebook message about, hey, we do this podcast where we go through the Star Wars letter column and pick out a letter. And this time we picked out yours, and I just happened to find you. I wrote this big, long thing out, and I realized, oh, it's not the right person.
Oh, did you send it?
I didn't send it, no.
Oh, I think you should send it. Let's see what happens. All right, but Marvel always responds. So what did Marvel say?
Okay, spoiler alert.
Oh.
If you're really a big fan of Valance, you'll be pleased to learn that you won't have to wait another 10 issues like last time. Star Wars 29 will find him on another hunt.
Woohoo!
Oh, this makes me so happy that we're going to see him sooner than later.
Yeah.
I've forgotten how prevalent he was in these issues.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I never knew how prevalent he was, but
So,
based on this issue, I'm a Valance fan.
And guess what your homework is now? You got to put down the High Republic book.
What?
Yes, you do.
No.
And you've got, I think, 5 or 6 issues of the comic Bounty Hunter to catch up on.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm halfway through High Republic. I'm halfway through Light of the Jedi. I'm going to finish it.
I'm sorry. Okay. I have to delete that from your iPad. Okay, there are things you got to do.
No.
All right. Good.
All right. Well, wow. That was an awesome issue. I really liked it a lot. So thank you, everyone, for joining us on Classic Marvel Star Wars Comics, where we just went through this issue, number 27, Return of the Hunter. So what's next time, Richard?
Issue 28, Whatever Happened to Jabba the Hutt?
What a name.
You know what happened to him?
What?
He's out looking for his other tea.
Indeed. Thanks to Rob Dellinger for our main theme for this episode. You can check out Rob and all he's doing at alpharhythmkings.com. You can also check out all the rest of the shows on the Skywalking Network.
Skynet.
Including Talking Apes, Neverland Clubhouse, the Max Effects podcast, and the new Resilience Squadron podcast, as well as our flagship show, Skywalking Through Neverland. And you can find them all, plus a lot of Disney Plus content and other articles at skywalkingthroughneverland.com. Now, if you are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon... Oh, hold on. No. Okay. Thank you for those of you who are part of the Skywalking Force. We so appreciate you. We do special things for you guys, and I know coming Christmas time, we're about to send out some holiday cards to our Skywalking Force members. So you can head to skywalkingforce.com to check out all the different levels available with bonus content on some of those. And thank you to those of you who are already part of the Skywalking Force.
And Sarah, if anyone wants to reach out to us on social media, where do they go?
They go to @SkywalkingPod for Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. You can also join us on Facebook. Just search Facebook for Skywalking Through Neverland. And you can join our Facebook group as well, where we post these pictures and ask for your comments. And we love it, you guys, when you join us live on YouTube or Facebook. Thank you. We love your comments. We take them into account. And yeah, we thank you so much. You can email us, share@skywalkingthroughneverland.com.
Now, don't forget to stick around for bloopers and other fun bits of conversation that didn't make it into the show. So until next time, for classic Marvel Star Wars comics, this is Richard.
And this is Sarah saying,
Fatum!
Zakow!
Voomp! Whoop! Ronk!
Zach! That's not one.
Zygarian!
Frack! Oh no! Ugh!
And more special effects sounds.
Yay.
And there we go. All right, Skywalkers, thank you so much for hanging out with us for an hour and a half.
Woo!
Hope you had a great time. Thanks for all your comments. Rex says Luke will be a Borg soon. He will be a Borg.
Nice. All right.
Frack.
Yay.
Frack, says Eric.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, guys.
All right. Until Friday, when we see you for pop culture trivia.
Yes. All right.
So, what do you call it? Study up
Okay.
on your Christmas movies.
Woo!